sirloin, I cannot explain how good these smell, but everything that I want in a meal, I'm getting absolutely perfect. It doesn't get any better than this, guys. Hey everybody, I'm Joe Pearce with Slaps Barbecue, and today we are cooking up a smoked Korean style Prairie Fresh USA Prime pork tenderloin. When I cook barbecue at home, I love cooking different ethnic types of barbecue. I like throwing some Korean, some Asian, some Mexican, anything you can do. I like to put it into barbecue and see if we can't smoke it up and make it better. So we have these beautiful, absolutely beautiful tenderloins, and you don't want to just throw this on the smoker. You don't want to just take it out of the package and put it right on. You want to trim it up a little bit. So the first thing I like to do is what I call like the low-hanging fruit. I like to get in here and just start taking a little bit of this off, squaring it up a little bit. It looks really nice. You're going to kind of flip it over, look at what you got to work with. And so I'm going to just start taking some of this fat off, and more importantly, one of my big tips I like to tell people is to take as much of the silver skin off of these tenderloins as you can. Because the more silver skin you leave on these, the less flavor is going to penetrate the meat. So we're just going to take a pretty sharp knife. This is just a simple boning knife. You can get this at most stores. And we're just going to start working the knife between the meat and the fat. And if you can see what I'm doing, I'm going really slow. Right? I'm not flying through this by any means. And you can start seeing this beautiful, awesome red pork. I also love like picking up a piece of meat and I'll manipulate it however I need to benefit me to get that silver skin or that fat off of it. So if you feel like you need to pick it up and bend it a little bit to get this silver skin or this fat off of there, go ahead, man. Just pork. And the other thing I like to do is kind of just square these ends off. Most of these pieces are going to overcook anyway. You could save them, you could throw them in a stew or doing something like that. But really, we're just going to discard them. So kind of take that end and square it off as well. And what you're left with is just this beautiful, amazing looking pork tenderloin. A little bit of fat here is okay. This is a kind of a fat seam that keeps the meat together, so I'm not going to dig too much of that out. I want it to hold together pretty good, but you can see these are just absolutely gorgeous looking, and I'm going to transfer it right now right into the dish that I'm going to marinate in. So we're going to get this marinade together, and one of the things I love about a marinade is you can really put whatever you want in it, but we kind of got this Korean style theme, so we're gonna stick with some traditional Korean style flavors. You could set this, you could do this a day ahead of time, you could do it a couple hours ahead of time, or you can do it right at the same time. It doesn't really matter. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this and pour it right over the top of these pork tenderloins. And we could not do this recipe without a little bit of barbecue sauce. So we're gonna take a little bit of our sweet slaps or smoky slaps, whichever one you prefer. We're gonna do smoky, and we're just gonna go right over the top of these guys. Just like so. Now, we're gonna put this into the fridge. Lean pork tenderloins don't need a ton of time in the fridge to marinate, but you do wanna give them a little bit. They don't definitely need overnight. They don't need 24 hours, but 30 minutes to 4 hours, whatever your time frame is, that's kind of what we're looking at. And whatever it is, if you go 30 minutes, halfway through, flip them over. If you go 4 hours, at the 2-hour mark, go in, flip them over. Cover them with a little plastic wrap, put them in the fridge, set it and forget it, as one of the most popular things to say in the world is. Put it in the fridge, let it marinate, and then we're gonna get these things on the smoker. All right, so we are here with our USA Prime marinated pork tenderloins. These have been sitting in the fridge for roughly an hour. At the 30-minute mark, we flipped them over. Now we're gonna get them on our pellet smoker. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna open this sucker up. Ah, that beautiful smoke's rolling. What I like to do when I get ready to put meat on the smoker is, if it's in a marinade, I like to just give it a couple rolls in that marinade and take it, and I'm gonna place it directly in the middle of the grill. And you can hear that sizzle. This smoker's rolling. Again, just right here, roll it, set it on. And the other thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a little bit of the Slaps Perfect blend. I'm just gonna hit it on the top just for a little color, a little sweetness, a little savoriness. And you can already see that rub's gonna adhere to that pork because we got it out of this marinade, and it's gonna stick and it's gonna make this beautiful mahogany rich color. And these things are awesome. So we're gonna close this lid, and these things are gonna cook for about an hour, hour and a half at 250 degrees. Once they get to the internal temperature of 135, we're gonna place the top rack into this pit, and we're gonna put them up top, and then we're going to baste them with this marinade. Now, we're gonna shut the lid. I'm gonna transfer the marinade into our pot, and we're gonna take this off, and we're gonna reduce this marinade down about 50%. We want it thick and kind of sticky, and so we're gonna go back and we're gonna baste this marinade all over these. Let's check the temperature. Oh my goodness, the color looks phenomenal. We're just gonna go right in here. We're looking for about 135 degrees. Oh my goodness, I am pretty good at what I do. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna take a top rack, we're gonna put it in the smoker. That way heat rises, and we're gonna set this glaze on these pork tenderloins. So I'm gonna pick these up. I'm gonna go ahead and flip them while I'm here. And I'm gonna take that marinade that we reduced down, and we're gonna baste it on to these tenderloins. And so I'm gonna come over on the side here, and we're just gonna get this. Look at those. It doesn't get much better than this. Like, this is exactly what you want to see when you're cooking these pork tenderloins. Just that glossy mahogany finish. The smoke is perfect. We're gonna crank the smoker up to about 300 degrees. Let these go for about another 5 to 10 minutes until they reach an internal temperature of 145 degrees. Then it's time to eat. All right, guys, it is time. These Prairie Fresh USA Prime pork tenderloins are absolutely perfect. They are at 145 degrees internal temperature. Our Korean style barbecue glaze has set almost perfectly. The smell, I cannot explain how good these smell, but it is now time to slice into these and see what we got. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick one up here, put it right on our tray. And this is the moment of truth. This is what we've worked all day on to see how these come out. So we're just gonna give this a little slice. Oh my goodness. You see a little bit of pink with the smoke ring. Not overcooked. Just absolutely gorgeous. Color, flavor. And I was hoping I had a little crusty piece down here at the end, and I'm just gonna do one of those and give me a little test. It doesn't get any better than that. That is exactly what we want to do. All right, we got them sliced. Let's start plating with it. So we got our brown rice here. I'm just gonna dump it onto the plate. And right now, you could just throw the pork tenderloin on it, but we're gonna give this rice just a little bit of flavor with some Slaps Perfect blend. Just like that. Now we're gonna take our slaw. Man, that looks amazing. And now, for the best part, the pork. So we're gonna take these and we're gonna just lay them right on top. Like so. So that everybody can take a bite. We got a little bit of our glaze left. Go right over the top with them. Oh my goodness. Little white sesame seed just to garnish. And then all of a sudden, you're ready to eat. Should we take a bite? Should we see what happens? Perfect. The crunch of the slaw, the softness of the rice, the sweet, the tangy, the spicy of the pork. This meal is everything that I want in a meal as a barbecue guy that eats regular barbecue all day. This smoked Korean style USA Prime pork tenderloins will kill it at your next family function.